Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 10th NCERT book, that is periodic classification of elements. So before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we started this chapter by the word classification. So here classification means we are grouping the elements in different groups according to the similarities and the dissimilarities, and we have taken one similarity, that was of atomic mass. So there were different ways by which the classification was being done. Now children, see here, this name is only said as periodic classification. Now why this is known as periodic classification? Once the classification is being done, it is all over. No, it's not like that, because when the classification is happening, it is happening according to the time. I mean, with the advancement of the time, the periodic classification has happened in many ways. Okay, so that is why its name is periodic classification. It means that when the classification has to means the classification was being done, this was done from time to time. Okay, so that is why its name is periodic classification. At various ends of time, different types of classification was being done. So the very first, the beginning of the this study of the periodic table, or how to study these states of matter, that could be in the form of mixtures, compounds, or they could be in the form of elements. So it was very easy to understand the quality, the properties of elements. Why? Because these were the purest form of the substance. Okay, so these are the purest form of the atoms. Okay, now what has been done, this shows that the elements are being classified on the various levels, and they were classified in various periodic classifications. Okay, the very first classification which was being done was done by Dauvergne. Okay, so he has taken the classification on the basis of atomic masses. Okay, so atomic mass was taken. Now, why this atomic mass was taken? Because he established this Dauvergne has established a relationship that the atomic mass of different elements are in connection with each other. Now, what kind of connection is that? So this Dauvergne has given the connection of three elements. What were they? The middle element's atomic mass is equal to the sum total, the average of the atomic mass of the first and the last elements. So this was about the Dauvergne triads, and then next came the second classification of the elements, that was about Newland's law of octaves. So this Newland's law of octaves means it is being done by the Newland, and he found that every eighth element is having the same characteristic of the first element. Okay, so the first and the eighth element are going to they are going to match their properties, children. Okay, so these were known as the law of octaves. After that came the third classification, that was Mendeleev's classification. Now, Mendeleev also has taken up the classification, but his classification was actually means this was a very good classification, you could say. Means this was the most acceptable classification for some time. Now, because this Mendeleev was present, and Mendeleev has classified 63 elements, and how he has classified? He has classified on the basis of atomic mass. Increasing order of their atomic mass was the basic concept. Secondly, he also took the physical and the chemical properties of the elements. Okay, so physical and the chemical properties of the element says that if the element is reacting with the oxygen as well as hydrogen. Now, if it is reacting with oxygen, it could form oxides, or if it is reacting with hydrogen, it forms hydrides. Okay, so he gave the position of this reactivity with oxygen and hydrogen, means oxides and hydrides. Hydrides were given the place, means RO and RH was also given the place. Fine, so oxygen and hydrogen both were there, and if they are going to form the different compounds, if they are able to form the different chemicals, they were included in two columns. Okay, so each of the column was having two groups. One was formed for the oxides, and second one for the halides. Okay, so he has taken up all the 63 elements and was placed somewhere or the other. So everybody got the place. each and every element got the place, okay, and then the study of the elements was very easily being done. But later on, what has happened, there were certain drawbacks, there were certain limitations in each and every periodic table, whether it is Dauvernier's triads or it was the Newland's law of octaves. Every classification has certain limitations. So the first limitation of this Mendeleev periodic table was that the position of hydrogen was not fixed, okay. Firstly, the hydrogen was not fixed. Why? Because isotopes were also discovered at that time. Now, once the isotopes were discovered, they were not sure to where to keep this hydrogen, in which column they need to keep the hydrogen, okay. So this became a very big problem for the scientists, where to place these isotopes in the periodic table, okay. Next was there was a lots of gap in between the elements, of the various periodic table. Means if in Mendeleev's periodic table there was lots of gap in between the atomic masses of various elements. If we move from first element to the second element, there was a lot of gap between these elements, the atomic mass of these elements, children, okay. Now what was the problem is that we never know that how many elements were to be discovered more in between these atomic masses. So that became a very big problem for the scientists, where to keep the next discovered elements, okay children. Next limitation was that atomic mass was the first problem, hydrogens and its isotopes where to keep, this was the problem. And the next limitation was of those elements which were not matching. Means this was not matching. After some time, what has happened, the elements were not able to match. Means dissimilar elements were kept in one column, okay. And he found that hydrogen and sodium both were having the similar characteristics when they are reacting with chlorine, when they are reacting with sulfur, or when they are reacting with oxygen. So again it was very difficult for them to classify this sodium and hydrogen. If they are two elements, then why can't we keep them in one column? But this was very much different, because they were not having the similar chemical properties, they were not having the similar physical properties, okay. Now the next concept was of this modern periodic table, okay. So what was this modern periodic table? So this was the next concept. This was the newest one. This is the most newest concept, or you could say that this was simply the last periodic table. Now till the date, this modern periodic table is not expired till now. Why? Because this was based upon various facts, that it was not based upon atomic masses, it was based upon atomic number, okay. This was based upon atomic number. Now this played a major role because it has taken the chemical and the physical properties both. Why? Because as it was based upon the atomic number, this atomic number is equal to number of protons, which is equal to number of electrons, which is equal to number of the atomic number, okay. So this means this was most informative. Why this was most informative? As it is very understandable, or it is very much clear from the concept that if we are taking this atomic number, this was the most informative one, because this gave the nature of the means the features of the protons, electrons, the number of electrons, and the atomic number, okay. So all these things, physical and the chemical properties, are based upon the atomic number, children, okay. So this was a very good concept to discard the idea of taking atomic mass, rather to take this atomic number. Why? Because this atomic number was increasing one after another, means increasing order of this atomic number was being placed. But in atomic mass, lots of variation was coming. So this was the first thing which was being changed in the atomic, this modern periodic table, that Moseley left the concept of atomic mass, and he introduced the concept of atomic number in it, okay. Because of which the the gap between the atomic masses was reduced, okay. So the gap between the atomic masses were reduced. Now we have also seen about the position of different atoms which are present in the modern periodic table, okay children. So Moseley's periodic table was done because of the problem that this was done because this Moseley's periodic table is the most new one. Okay, so this modern periodic table is the rectangular, this one is a tabular arrangement of the elements on the basis of the increasing order of the atomic number. Okay, now next, what is the feature of this modern periodic table? How many columns are there? How many groups are there? So I have drawn yesterday the groups and the columns. So let us revise this once again. How many columns and how many groups are present? So there are 18 vertical columns. Okay, so 18 vertical columns are there. These are known as the groups. And there are 7 rows or 7 horizontal rows, and this is known as the periods. Okay, now this is what is about the group and the period. So 7 and 18, please remember. Now we have to understand that which column or which group was of different, means they were all of different families. They belong to different families, they belong to different characters. Why they belong to different characters? Because if we take first column, all of them would be of similar type, means all the electronic configuration might be matching. Similarly, if we take 18th group, it was of the inert gases, where all these gases were very much, means they were not going to react with any of the elements. That is why they have been given the 18th column, which was at the last of this periodic table. Okay, so I just wanted to give you the description of all these 18 groups. Let us understand that. See, we can easily understand that what kind of groups are present. So if we talk about the different groups, the group number 1, the first group was of different, it was of different nature. This first group was of about, the nature was different. Okay, so all these 18 groups were having different types of natures. So this group first is alkali metals. So this is group first, which is of alkali metals. Okay, so this is the first, and what is the property? They all form strong alkali, strong base or strong alkali with water. Okay, so this was its characteristic, the group first. Now the second group, which was having, this is alkaline earth metal. Alkaline earth metals. Okay, now what is the difference? The second group was this, and then now this alkaline earth metals, they were also forming the alkalis, strong alkalis, like they were forming the alkalis, but they were forming weak alkalis with water. Okay, with water. They were forming weak alkalis with water, children. Okay, next thing what we have to understand is group number 3. Now this group third was also having, this is also known as the boron family, because it started with boron. Okay, so boron is the first member of this family. There is no need, what is the property? So boron was the first member of this family. Okay, next is group 4th, which was the carbon family, which started with carbon. Okay, why? Because carbon was the first element, first member of this family. Okay, next thing what we will see is group number 15th or 4th. Okay, you could say this is group number 14th or this is group number 13th. Okay, fine. This could be 13th group, 14th group and 15th group. So 15th group was of nitrogen family. So which one is the first member? Nitrogen is the first member. Then group 16 was there. Okay, so the group 16th was there, which was of the oxygen family. Oxygen family, and who was the first member? Oxygen was the first member. Then group number 17 was there. So this group 17 was halogen family. Now what is this halogen family? This halogen family were they were the elements of, they form the elements of salt, okay? Elements forming salt. They form salt because they were chlorine, fluorine, iodine, okay? All these were present. And the last group was group number 18th, which was of noble gases, okay? So this was of noble gases, as it is being shown here at the last. I could show you by just adjusting my camera over here. So this shows the 18th group, which is about the noble gases, and this is forming the inert gases. This property of formation of inert gases were there, as they were having the condition that they are not going to react with any other element. So this was also known as, this 18th group is also known as the zero group, okay? So this is also known as the zero group. Now why this is known as the zero group? Because this was having stable electronic configuration, children. Why this was having stable electronic configuration? Because they were actually the inert gases which were not participating with any of the reactions. That is why they have been given the last column, they have been given the last group, which is known as the 18th group, okay? So this was about the classification of the basic idea of the classification of the modern periodic table, where group 1 is going to be like alkali earth metals, and they form strong alkalis with the water. Now what are these alkalis? As we have understood that alkalis means they form strong base when they are going to react with the water, okay? Next thing is that group 2, which forms, again this was alkali earth metal, which forms weak alkalis with water. They were not forming the strong alkalis. Now if we move on to the 13th group, or this was the third group, which was of boron family. Boron was the first member. Fine. Next was this 14th group. Why now? Where is the group number 3 till 12? Where they are known to be as a transition element, and these transition element, they were not participating very much in this chemical nature of the modern group. These were the common, these are the common groups which you all should remember. So we will all learn about this group 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18th group we will learn. And please remember the elements which are present in these groups, okay? So the classification of elements in the periodic table is that 1, 2, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So what was present? So this was present as the group 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 are known as the main group elements or the normal elements, okay? So please remember that whatever is being written over here, group 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17, all these are known as the main group. So these are the main group, okay? And which we need to study. As I told you that you all also have to remember these. So they are known as the main group or the normal elements. These are the elements of group 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. All these are, okay, 11 and 12. All these are known as the transition element, not 10, okay. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th and 12th. All these are known as the transition elements. So group 18 are known as the noble, this is known as the noble gas, and or they are known as the inert gas, okay. So why they are called inert gases? Because they were having 8 electrons in the valence shell. They were having the complete octet. So this 18th group is of 18th group is of noble gas group, okay, or they are also known as the inert gas. Why they are called inert gas? Because they have stable electronic configuration. Okay, they were known as they were having the stable electronic configuration, children. Okay, now when this is due to the stable electronic configuration, and they are not going to react with, they don't react with any of the element. That is why they are known as the inert gases. Okay, so this is very easy to understand now why the 18th group is called the inert gases, or they are known as the noble gas, because they are not going to, they were very you should say they were very non-violent type of the species of this atomic this species of this modern periodic table. They were not going to fight with any other element for their existence. So it was very much common that they should all understand that these were the most stable part of, they were having a most stable part of this atomic configuration or the classification of the modern periodic table. Why? Because they were having the 18th group, and this 18th group is of noble gas, and this noble gas was not being inert. They were known as inert gas because they were not reacting with anybody. Okay, so none of the element was were there which they could react with. Okay, so what happens, they were just sitting in a corner. That is why they were given the last part, and the halogens were the most active ones. They were just in the present in the 17th group. And why this is known as halogen? So because halogen were, they were the chlorine, fluorine, these were the elements which have 1 electrons less, means they have 7 electrons in the valence shell, and that is why they were the most reactive ones, and they were very easily going to form the compounds which were having, which could donate 1 electron of theirs to them, okay, to this 17th group element. Now when we talk about this, when we talk about the periods of a modern periodic table, one should keep in mind that the number of shells present in the atom determines the period number. Okay, why number of shells? Means if it is having the first shell, only 1 shell, it is the first period. Okay, first horizontal row. If this was having 2 in the valence shell, 2 electrons in the valence, or the 2 shells were there, 2 complete circles were there, so, or the different energy levels. So if we talk about the structure of atom, it was the very basic thing which is being taught in your 9th class. So these are called the shells, where the electrons revolve. Okay, now this is called the nucleus of an atom, and the other structures, the other place where the electrons are revolving, here proton and neutron live, but electrons are revolving in the next energy level. So these energy levels are known as the shell. So these are the energy levels, but they are also known as the shell. So if they have, now these number of shells, these are only the number of shells, and if these number of shells are present, and these number of shells only are going to decide which period number they are going to get. So if they have 1 shell, it means it is known as the first, they are in the first period. Okay, if they have 2 shells, if 2 shells are there, they are in the second period. Okay, similarly, if there are 3 shells or 3 energy level, then they are said to be as third, they will belong to the third period. Okay, so this is how they are going to be decided. So when we talk about the number when we have to give to these horizontal rows, they are known as the period number. Okay, now the elements of the period 1 will have only 1 shell, and the elements of period 2 will have 2 shells in it, and so on. The first period of the modern periodic table is the shortest period as it contains only 2 elements. Why? One is hydrogen, other one is helium. So the first corner it has hydrogen, and the second corner it has helium. If we talk about the first period of the modern periodic table, it is the shortest. Why it is the shortest period? Because it has only 2 elements, and what are they? They are the hydrogen on one side and helium on the other side. So they were only the first and the second atomic number. So they have only 1 shell in their outermost region. As you could see that hydrogen also has 1 shell, and helium also has 1 shell with 2 electrons in it. So this has only 1 shell, so that is why they belong to the first period, and this one is the shortest period of the modern periodic table. Okay, next is that the first is the shortest one as it contains only the 2 elements. The period number 2 and 3 are of 8 elements, and each is known as the short groups. Now the second and the third period, they are the short ones. Why? Because they are having 8 elements in it. Fine, they have 8 elements in it. Now, they the period 4th, 5th and 18th, 4th and 5th, 4th and 5th period, they are what? They are known as to be the long groups. Okay, they are known as the long periods. Why they are called long ones? Because they contain 18 elements. Okay, they contain 18 elements. Next is the group number 3, and the period number 6 contains lanthanides and actinides. Period number 6 contains the lanthanides and the actinides. Okay, so they are the rare earth elements. What are these lanthanides? These are the rare earth elements. Okay, now these are the rare earth elements, and they belong to the which group? They belong to the they belong to the 6th period of this periodic table. Okay, now they are also having the radioactive property, which is also known as actinides. Okay, they are known as the actinides. In actinides, they present in the 3rd group and period number 7. So the 7th has radioactive element, and they were known as the actinides. They were not in this 6th one. 6th has only this lanthanoids, and this 7th group has the radioactive elements. This is known as the actinide series. Okay, now we have seen the properties of the modern periodic table. To learn more about modern periodic table, we can also go through the book which you have, that is your NCERT book, children. Okay, now this was all about the modern periodic table, children, and there are some more things which are to be studied in the classification of this modern periodic table, and we should also understand that what trends are being followed in this modern periodic table. As I have given you the overview of this modern periodic table, now it becomes very easy for you all to understand what kind of nature, what kind of chemical properties and the physical properties the element might be having. As this was a very basic concept, that if it is in the first period, it contains 1 shell, okay, or the 2 shells in the second period. Then third means 3 shells, 4 means 4 shell, 5 means 5th shell, and this goes on. So I have told you what is the meaning of the shell. Shell means the energy level which is present at the outer part of the nucleus of any atom, children. Okay, so this was about the modern periodic table. Now I'll discuss something more about this modern periodic table which is given in your book. Okay, now what is given in your book? Now the modern periodic table has 18 vertical columns, which is known as the group. With this we have understood. Now we have to find out these elements. They contain the same valence electrons. Similarly, we will find that the elements having the same valence electrons are present in the same shell. Okay, now they are present in the same group. We have talked about this the short and the long periods of this modern periodic table. We have talked about the horizontal rows. Now about vertical columns or the groups. Okay, it is being said that what is being told here, it is being said that the number of valence electrons are going to decide the group number. Okay, this decides the group number. A first group means they have 1 electron in the valence shell. If they have 2 valence electrons, they belong to the second group, and they have 3 valence electrons, so they belong to the third group of the modern periodic table. Okay, children. Similarly, when we find that the elements are present in any one group, they have the same number of valence electrons. Now, whatever groups which are present, whatever elements which are present here in the first group, they all will have 1 electron in their valence shell. Now, those electrons, which are present in the second group, they will have the 2 electrons in the valence shell. Okay, so the complete member of one group will have the same number of valence electrons in their valence shell. Please remember this. This is the best way to understand what are the groups which are present. A first group contains 1 valence electron, second group contains 2 valence electrons in the valence shell, third group contains 3 valence electron in the third shell. Okay. Similarly, next is that next what happens? They contain next group has 3, and then last has 4 electrons in the valence shell. The carbon family was there. Okay, after that it is going on decreasing again. Next, what is present is that, for example, the elements belong to fluorine, chlorine and bromine, they belong to 17th group. How many electrons this fluorine and fluorine would have? It is not going to have 7 electrons in the valence shell. This, after 4 number of electrons, the electrons are going to decrease in the valence shell. Okay, so this was about the way of the outermost electrons, how to count them. Hence we can say the group on the period signify the identical outer shell electronic configuration, and on the other hand the number of shells increase when we move down the group. Okay, there are certain positions of these elements which could decide the characteristic of the elements, children. Okay, so this was about the position of the different elements in the modern periodic table, children. Okay, so that's all for today's video, children. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed. So that's all for today. I'll meet you all again.